Late night truth dripping through the streams. Late night drip, let it slip. So slick, got you caught in the grip. Raindrops fall on city pavement, washing secrets in the dark. Daily drip, the crowd's amazement. Knowledge streaming comes to spark. Thunder in the nighttime sky.
Get them ready. What up, what up? What's going on, what's going on? It is your man, Cassius Pay, and I am here for you. And guess who's here for you too? A young lady, exquisitely named Jim Jones. How do you do, Jim Jones? How do you do?
Hey y'all, it's me, Jim Jones. I am here for another show of our Daily Drip Show. If you are not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share this with 2 people you like, someone you don't. And today you get me solo. Just me. Hey y'all, camera's over there. Hey y'all. All right, so today I have a great show for y'all. Once again, if you haven't hit that like button, make sure you do that. If you're not subscribed, do that as well. We're going to get into a lot of news today. So if you were looking for Talk Techie with me, you're going to have to catch me another day. But got some good news with y'all. And rolling with me is Cassius Pay. Give it up for him. Cha-ching!
Give me my money.
No, definitely no. That's why he's here. So appreciate y'all very much for being here. So news today, lots going on. If you are not following any American news and you're not from here, a lot of people losing jobs, losing patients, losing money, but everybody around here feels some type of way. So definitely want to get into that, so much so that America is so tired, so underpaid, over caffeinated, and is arguing about everything except how we got here. How did we get here? Voting. So that's going to be our first thing. Before I get into that, I forgot to tell y'all what's in my cup. So I'm drinking a little bit of some water because I am starting to feel under the weather, y'all. I'm not feeling the greatest. So I need to make sure I drink that. But I'm also balancing life, right? Once again, we just said America is tired, underpaid, and over caffeinated and arguing about stuff. So I also got me a little bit of wine. Makes it a little bit spicy for y'all. So a little bit of that red wine. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about Florida.
Before you do all that, let's do some housekeeping stuff. Make sure that you...
make sure y'all hit like.
Right.
I did that, but you make sure y'all check out our other platforms. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We're on Threads. We're on Facebook, X. He wanted to call it Twitter because it's been Twitter forever. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. I don't think I am. And of course, we're on YouTube. Catch us here every Friday night. We try to start around 11 p.m. EST, but today, like I said, I haven't been feeling the best. So we're on a little late today, but it's all good. I'm here. Y'all here. Appreciate y'all being here. So anything else, Cassius Pay, that I missed? Wow. All right. So let's talk about where the vibes changed Florida, because nothing says new era like shocking Florida headlines. More specifically, if y'all didn't know, Miami elected their first Democratic mayor in 30 years. It was a political flip in the state known for chaos, not consistency. You think I'm joking? Just humor me. Open up a new tab, search Florida man. I promise you it will not disappoint. Okay? Bruh. There is always something wild going on in Florida. Were you gonna say something, Cassius Pay?
Bruh.
Oh. Okay. But always something going on in Florida. So let's go ahead and take a look at what Florida is hitting for with Democrat Higgins.
Eileen Higgins has won Miami's mayoral runoff, defeating Trump-backed Emilio Gonzalez and becoming the city's first woman and first Democratic mayor in nearly 30 years. Her decisive 18-point victory caps recent Democratic gains nationwide. The win is a shot in the arm for Democrats in Miami, who have been losing their grip on South Florida, previously a Democratic stronghold that previously a Republican stronghold, obviously it's South Florida, that Trump won by 11 points last year. Eileen Higgins.
That is interesting because the governor is DeSantis and he is a Republican governor. And it's pretty significant that Miami specifically, I'm very surprised, has a Democratic mayor. Drop some drip in the comments. Are y'all surprised? Is it just me? Now, I think about Miami and I think about a lot of young people, right? A lot of stuff going on. And I mean, you would think maybe it would be more, I guess, blue, but they don't live there. Usually, actually, we should look at the median age.
It's gonna be old. It's gonna be old as hell. It's gonna be the median age. But I mean, but it's really a couple of things. The demographic that is usually activated to vote is going to be your elderly demographic, right? That's going to be your largest demographic. But there's a lot of things that people tend not to be happy about.
39.7 is the average from 2019 to 2023. 39.7.
I mean, it's not going to be like 50. I mean, there's still babies and stuff. But I digress. It's still on the higher side. Like, so that if the median age is going to be like 40, that's going to be around the age that people can afford a house now. The housing is going down in those areas. Plus, like I said before, you have a lot of people who haven't been activated to vote that have now been activated to vote. You have HOA fees. You have HOAs within.
The median age of a Floridian though is 42.6. So it is still a younger probably city than some, but if that's the median, just imagine some of those other cities are very, very much more mature in age of their residents. So I don't know, losing a space in a state that's primarily red is kind of a big deal. I think it shows very much a shift in, how people are absorbing the cost of living, the culture, who's moving there. Like you said, the housing market and stuff like that. People's houses are going to, especially there, they had a hurricane. People got to rebuild them. Oh my goodness. So there's a lot going on there. So my question for y'all, drop some drip in the comments. Do y'all think that with the economy the way it is, that Miami is still going to be the hot spot, the kicking spot, where I go for my bachelorette party? Well, people still have my bachelorette parties for my kicking to test out what I look like in this market, because, Miami, I'm trying to think of a city, a Des Moines 10 ain't a Miami 10, okay? Probably not. Y'all let me know. Kansas City 10 probably ain't a Miami 10.
When I think of Miami, I think of it's just one big balloon city. That's what it is. It's a lot of silicone going on over there. That doesn't particularly make it something that I would care to view or see on a regular basis. It's too hot to have all them balloons and flotation devices flying around that piece. So I digress. We can move on from the United States urinal. Drop some drip in the comments if you don't think that it is.
Well,
it's salty.
That was not nice.
It's musty.
That was not nice.
Musty place. So I've been to Brickell. I know what it is.
I did not have a problem with. I had no problem with Miami. If anything, I think Fort Lauderdale was kind of weird, but all right. No shade, but it's just I wasn't expecting the vibe that came out of Fort Lauderdale. But hey, shout out to Florida. Politics aside, let's talk about numbers, not vibes. Let's talk about numbers because we need to talk about these job numbers because wiz are cute, but let's see how the job market's doing. If you've been living under a rock recently, and I don't even have this clip ready, but the jobs numbers, like they've been suppressing some of this. So let's take a look at, you know, what job growth is versus wage stagnation. And let's just talk about jobs in general. Let's go to this clip right here. Okay, this is vibe right here. Okay. Where are you? There we go.
Imagining it. The return to office mandates, layoffs, surprise firings, increase of PIPs, and just AI everywhere. Something is shifting, and after years of working as a product
That real quick.
HR and
What'd you say?
So explain what a PIP is.
Oh, I mean, I was gonna pause it in a second. But
Okay.
So let's talk a second about what she's about to get into. So she is talking from an HR perspective about the job market, and essentially a lot of people are like, oh, job market's hard, it's tough, it just seems like there's no jobs, this is trash, right? What she's saying is that there's different things kind of going on. So first, let's take a second and take a look at these layoffs. There's been a lot of layoffs lately. We've been talking about layoffs. There's been so many layoffs lately that we've talked about job hugging, quiet cracking. What's the other? I think it's forcing layoffs is the newest one. There's a bunch of different terms for these, but the layoffs, right? You have from tech companies to delivery services to just everybody's getting in on the whole layoff situation. Because of that, all these people who don't have a job are all basically flooding to go get another job. So just imagine you're in a gymnasium, right? Everybody got a seat in a gymnasium. All of a sudden, a fire break out. And there's only 2 ways to get out the doors. That's kind of what's going on with these layoffs. That's just one part. Now, imagine that's going on, right? That's just the layoffs. Imagine attached is an annex. And on the annex, there's only one door on that side, and there's a bridge between the annex and that gymnasium, right? That fire breakout, right? It's going to hit both. In the annex, though, are the PIP people. What's a PIP, you ask? Well, a PIP is a performance improvement plan. Some companies, they like to name it other little names, but essentially it just means that we see you're not doing what we want you to do at the level we want you to do it at. And because of that, we're going to give you a chance to show us that you want to be here and that you want to do better. Now, that sounds like a great deal, right? And this is what she's going to tell you a little more about this. Sounds like a great deal. However, a lot of these are unrealistic. They may want you to, I don't know, essentially climb a mountain with a 20-pound backpack, with 20-pound boots on, essentially. They're like, oh, well, if you can't do it in this very small time frame, we're going to give you, well, I don't even know if they all do this, but they'll either give you a package to leave or they will just let you go. So performance improvement plan, the goal is to allow you an opportunity to show that you know the job, you know the role, and you can contribute, even though you might not have been doing it as well as you should have been. And if you do, then cool, you get to keep.
Performance improvement plans last anywhere between 30 days and 120 days.
Whenever
they want.
I've heard that they can do it as long as they want, which I don't know the legalities of that, but whatever. The goal, like I said, the goal is to show that to improve you, to be a part of the community, and that is the goal, is that you can show that you're here and you are able to do the job. And allegedly, the goal is to help you through it, for everybody, to help you get through this together. But if you can't, get out.
It's a legalese way to say that we gave you every
We
opportunity.
gave you a chance. You just didn't make it. Even though you had, that large, heavy backpack and them big old boots, and, we asked you to climb, but we gave you mittens.
All right, no, on with the lobster hands. Let's go ahead and get this going.
Compensation space, I'm seeing a clear pattern. First, return to office. It's not about collaboration. Return to office makes employees easier to monitor and push out, and it's a way to get people to quit on their own so companies avoid having to pay severance and unemployment. Then the layoffs. It's often not about financial performance, but payroll optics. Cutting higher paid employees boosts shareholder value, and leaders know it. Next, PIPs, performance improvement plans. Here's the truth from the HR side. PIPs protect the company legally. They show attempted improvement while quietly moving those goalposts so you can't actually succeed. That's why people actually call it a paid interview period. What happens after? The job is reposted at a much lower salary band, anywhere from 15 to 30% less. And no, it's not AI replacing all these people. It's AI being used as the excuse to restructure and reset compensation for the next however many years. As someone who trusted my own company and ignored the trends, I'm sharing this now because it's becoming impossible to deny. If work suddenly feels hostile, it might not be you. It might be the strategy.
Drop some drip in the comments. Have y'all ever been on one of these plans? I had to put the shades on for this because they need to stop the cap. Everything she said, I totally feel her. Okay, how you gonna tell me to improve when HR wrote up how they about to get me out of here? Then they want to bring you in. We're gonna work together. Meanwhile, they're like, listen, okay, so we check this box, right? They can't sue us. Can they sue us over here? Can they sue us over there? And meanwhile, we're being sold like, oh, it's because of automation. For no damn automation. It's to save that bottom line, make them shares go. I challenge y'all. Look at the times that they do these things. Look at how the stock price. I mean, all of a sudden layoffs, rifts, all that stuff. Like that. Just like that. Because it's about how can you reduce costs, either operational or you're going to make money. Either you're going to reduce costs or you're going to make money. Revenue or reductions
equals profit.
What's controllable from a company's perspective. So let's keep that on. I'm going to keep these shades on, right? Keep gang. Okay. What's controllable from a company's perspective is the reduction. Because I know how much you make. I know who I have. I know, if I don't have this area or whatever it is, then we can live, right? We can just tell that these people over here will be all right. But revenue is a question mark. Because there's a lot of times no guarantee that someone's going to renew a subscription. There's no guarantee that they're going to continue on whatever payment plan. There's no guarantee that they continue to do business with you. None of those, anybody who's ever done consulting would agree with that 100%. So that's where I'm at with that. You got anything, Cash? I see we got a comment in here. You got any comments? No, okay, no, that's fine. Drop some drip in the comments. Y'all ever been on one of them plans? If you do, let us know how it went. Because guess what? I think at the beginning of the year is coming up.
A lot of people are going to see some. No, you didn't hit it with the Bobby V.
I didn't. Okay, let me add this part too. Y'all know how y'all do those reviews and you go, you know what? I'm gonna say something nice about
You say the 360 reviews turn into the Hunger Games?
I like Jenny. She's a nice lady, right? I talked about this on the other live stream where I said there was a lady who was a CEO that said, listen, don't be out there acting like telling all y'all business because you having a good time, they're not. Well, it is the Hunger Games because when you have your reviews, right? Do y'all think that they just look at it because they're like, you know what? How can I help you grow? Like, good. But on the same tip of that, what are you not doing enough of to be here? If I let you go today, can Skylar do that tomorrow? Skylar costs $5 less an hour than you. What you here for? Let's see what you write. Boy, Skylar right. I can work on Skylar. I'm gonna let you go. that's where it's at. So keep in mind when you do these reviews, my advice on this, I'm gonna give y'all advice on this one. I know people say be humble, don't boast. No, baby. That's when you are the GOAT. You need to figure out, what did I do absolutely great that can't nobody touch me? And you have to convey that in a professional way.
Right.
You
The
need
best
me.
way
You
to
want
do
not
it.
you need me. You want me here because
Best way to do
I'm
it
this.
is to chest beat as much as possible. Always understand what you do and how you add value to a company, and quantify it if you're able to. So if you're able to say, I did X and it resulted in the company getting this account, if it wasn't for, and even if you're on customer service, right? If it wasn't for my commendations that I received, we would have lost. And you can count the number of accounts that you've saved just by being you on the phone and keeping people.
I'm gonna do one even smaller than that. You can give examples. I had one of the most. I've helped irate customers. I'll give you one example. In real life, I'm just saying one example. If I was somebody like in real life, I came across a customer who was very unprofessional. However, I handled them with the utmost white glove service. And then they told me, you know what, I'm gonna renew again. And that's how I go about all the things that I talk to with people.
That's how you use AI right there. Just make sure that you put some points of emphasis. If you can quantify it, make sure that you do that. But yes, you have tools at your disposal to write up your review. So it's not just for looking at corn or making Heathcliff mixed with Garfield. They want to see what that look like on a cartoon or something stupid. Actually use these tools as intended. I think other people think that they're used to, take away from somebody and take away from jobs, but I think that they're used to enhance positions, enhance jobs.
Before I
all
move
the
on
way.
to the next topic, just remember you are accountable for yourself. You put your best foot forward. And sometimes, and I will say this, being laid off is not your fault. They was gonna pick somebody. Well, they may have picked you for a reason. That technically will be your fault, but the layoff itself is not your fault. Okay. These performance improvement plans, all you can do in either of these scenarios is the best that you can, and you leave it there. Because sometimes that door closes so something else can open. So I know a lot of people have it heavy on them, got a lot of pressure. It's a lot going on with people, so much that there's a lot of things people are doing to themselves. I recently had a friend who passed away, and lost their job for a minute, went through some hard times, and it's just rough out here for folks. So just know it's not your fault with these things. What you can do though is to recognize maybe some things you can do better. Where can you be of a niche, a need, or a specialist, and do that.
I
And just
feel what
hone
you're
in on it.
saying, but I can't reach you. You want to know why? Because sometimes it is your fault.
I just
when
say
it comes
sometimes
to
it is,
being
but you got to turn your perspective
let
on
me put it into perspective. When people start looking at, cupboards start getting bare, they looking at who they cannot share with. I will say that again. When the cupboards start getting bare, people will look at who they cannot share with. And so what that means is, if you in a space and you're not holding your weight, and we only got so much in the budget, People still want to have some level of a bonus at the end of the year. People still want to have some level of even if it's a 2% raise. How is everybody gonna pull out that 2%? It's gonna be you percent. That's how they're gonna get that 2%. So when the company isn't making more money, it doesn't come out of trees, and credit is not a breeze. So these two things equal you on the squeeze. That's all I'm getting at. So keep understanding where you are in the market, understand where you are in your skill set, and continue to build on yourself. I'm not trying to be on a soapbox, but when it's in these particular spaces and these times, you got to start getting real with yourself and where you are in the market. So if you're not comfortable where you are, start making a plan for yourself, even if you might have one foot out the door. It don't matter. Just make sure that you have another lane that you can thrive in, even in the meantime, in between time. If you think that you're getting put up for a pip, if you think that you're getting put out of position, have your game plans ready. Have your plan B. Have your plan
I don't
C.
know. I don't never stop applying, but we can keep moving. I got the job and I'm still applying somewhere else. I ain't staying complacent. Orlando Minor says it best on YouTube. These companies ain't loyal, and I agree with him on that. So I'm gonna keep that same energy, because having a job doesn't mean you're not still broke. It really doesn't. Because the profits are up, pressure is down on them employees. Keep in mind, layoffs are at an all-time high. Profits are at an all-time high. Burnout is being disguised as efficiency. Okay? Just remember too, when people feel squeezed, they start to argue. Okay? This leads us into having stress. Okay? Now, let's shift a little bit. Okay? The stress piece. I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, maybe probably about 3 years ago. 3 years ago, when you went to a job application, they were heavy on what are your pronouns? What's your favorite snack? On a job application, you're like, well, shit, I mean, I like some cheeses. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got cheeses in the office, you know what I mean? That's not like that this day and age. It's not like that at all this day and age. So let's talk about pronouns for a second, okay? Do we think this is a societal debate or a legal matter? A lot has changed, I would say, in the last, year. I feel like the Trump administration came through and was like, it's gone. But before, remember, that was a big deal. So let's go ahead and share this video. I want to know what y'all think. Drop some drip in the comments. Hopefully we don't get dinged for this. We'll see.
Speech law that mandates you using whatever the person's preferred pronouns are. And at that point, there were like 48 different preferred pronouns that were going to mandate. And people are like, why are you concentrating on that? This is something that exists in colleges.
Okay. What he's about to get into. First, he laid the groundwork. Talking about pronouns. All right, well, let people do what they want to do. Well, there's a reason why folks don't want to, quote, let people do what they want to do. He about to get into it.
This is not something in your world. Like, why is that of concern to you? Because people graduate from college and they take these ideas they've been indoctrinated with, and then they enter into the workforce. And that's what we're seeing.
What y'all think about that? Drop some drip in the comments. So as we talk about the workforce, that's why this is relevant. Layoffs, performance plans. Okay. There's like a fine line of like legality versus like societal acceptance in this. What he just said though is key. You have people who are embodying something as a young person with young thoughts, and they're going into the workforce, and it's really, really, really conflicting. Now, we just talked about layoffs. We just talked about performance improvement plans. Now, let's just put our thinking caps on for 1 minute. What age group y'all think running stuff right now. Drop some drip in the comments. Let me know. Do you think it's Gen X? Do you think it's Gen Z? Do you think it's the boomers, the millennials, or Gen Alpha? I'll just give you a little tidbit. It's mostly the boomers still, because they're not retiring, baby. They're not retiring. And if the boomers, ask the boomer about a pronoun. A what?
They trying to get that double 401k. They're trying to get that 802k like our dude Joe. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone at 802 is crazy. But if the boomers go ask a boomer, like, Uncle Johnny, what's your pronouns? He can be like, pronoun. Eat, sleep, F word. No, we didn't ask. No, man, we didn't ask about your verbs, man. We didn't ask about none of that. If they're the ones who are in the C-level, VP, shareholders, when you come out of school, you enter the workforce and they're like, you know what, we got to pick somebody who go in these layoffs. Let's go pick up Parker. Because Parker be over here talking about they. And
Well, a lot of stuff.
let's
people
get them
don't
out of
understand.
here. Like, what?
What people don't realize is that a lot of those types of things were not really driven through company policy. They were actually driven through shareholder, pressure. And so when it comes to that, it's like, why don't you have these policies? Why don't you have a eco-friendly this and that? And so in order to appease shareholders, a lot of that was put in place because you want to have access to certain capital. In order to do that, you have to go by certain bylaws. We're going to be this amount of women in leadership. We're going to have this amount of diversity. We're going to have LGBTQ double NMP QRST plus friendly, and all of that goes into a lot of financial, we'll say, opportunities for companies that need access to various forms of capital. So I will not say that is a genuine thing that that these companies, especially larger companies, want to have those things. Now, if it's a smaller company, yeah, it might be a passion of someone who owns an establishment, women-owned establishments, minority-owned establishments that are considered small business. But when you start getting into those larger areas, it gets way more political.
No, there's always some money behind it. It's always about some money. Once again, I talked about revenue reduction. Okay, so you hear this all the time. Like, if just search it, untapped revenue. What group is that? All of a sudden, now we're gonna invest in. We talked about this. There's like a future forecast. I know they're kind of going off, but there's a future forecast about people being by themselves, but an uptick in people having dogs and not having children. So future forecasting is, look at all the hotels that allow animals, like not just service dogs. It used to just be, if you ain't have no service dog, you couldn't come in there. Now hotels allow animals, not even just dogs,
It's
animals.
like, you better get that Allegra and forget your kid. Your kid got
hotels,
puppy eyes.
there's like these daycares for the animals. That used to not ask a boomer about a doggy daycare, like back in the day.
It
They'd
was
be like,
called backyard with a string on a hook that goes to a stake in the ground.
And so, like, the way things have just morphed and changed, it's interesting. So I bring that up as we have a lot of the younger folk entering the workforce, and we go to the next thing. I would be curious to know how many people who are laid off or on performance plans align more so with someone who would identify with pronouns. Not saying they have to be, LGBTQ plus, but just that they support pronouns and so forth. Like, you're kind of like, you're blocking my style. You kind of stopping things from moving the way I wanted to move, because you over here talking about some pronouns that you learned in college, and this is the real world. ask a boomer. They will tell you this is the real world. But hey, everybody's got an opinion, right? In America, we debate identity. Meanwhile, podcasts and shows like this, we debate everything. And I think that that also is what makes us great. I don't think that we have to be mean about any pronouns. However, like I said, I do think, and I'll give a little story. Here we go. It was story time. Boom. I once had a job where I did not realize that there was a culture of you don't say anything about things that make sense because they don't have an answer. Historically, I've always been a part of let's fix line, work together, right? Silly me. I was in a meeting with it was like a group, like I don't want to say the word of it because that'll probably give you what company it is, but it was one of those big meetings where everybody in your organization, but not the company, goes to. So like it's a big like let's all get together, meet each other, we meet up and wherever. The head honcho didn't come. Okay. He was supposed to come and tell us about, what he thinks because he was newer there. Cool. He doesn't come. So they're like, oh, this is the other managers, leadership. Do y'all have any questions for us? He's not gonna come. So can any of y'all explain the vision that for this group?
I can explain to you the vision. The vision is get your ass to work. That's what the vision is.
When I
And if you
tell
need
you,
the supervision, it means now.
when I tell
Right now.
you, this was about the same of their face when I asked that question. How dare I? And it got incredibly quiet. You could have heard a pin drop. Then all of a sudden, all these hands start going up, going, I would like to know too. And it was like around the room, and they were not happy. So needless to say, none of the leadership really liked me after that. So I present this with care. Okay. Not that I'm trying to be bullying or picking on or anything like that, but that I have a genuine concern, that some things you should just kind of like that CEO lady, keep it to yourself. And that is just a lesson learned that I wanted to share with y'all. All right. So let's get back to the root of everybody's stress, money, because opinions are loud, but Rit is louder. Okay, y'all. The math is mathing and badly. What am I talking about? So let's switch over to the economy. So we talked about layoffs, workers. Let's talk about the money. Recently, I saw an article, which then I was able to find a video about why having one income is not enough money. Drop some drip in the comments. Y'all over here surviving on one income? Y'all over here surviving off one income? Let me know. We're going to get into this video because they're going to tell you why it's most definitely a struggle. All right, I think y'all can see it.
High earners in the US feel the pressure to have two incomes. More than 60% of six-figure earners say one income feels nearly impossible to live on. 26% of US households report their basic needs take up more than 90% of their income. And it takes two working parents to afford a middle-class lifestyle.
Okay, so let's look at these numbers for a minute. So labor force percent of couples, about 5% as the wife only, neither spouse, 15% husband only, going down to 30%. Ooh, it's going down. The neither spouse is going up. Husband and wife. Woo. Winner, chicken dinner. Drop some drip in the comments. Let me know what y'all think.
Households where the husband is the single breadwinner have been steadily declining since 1986.
And we talked about that too. We talked about a lot more men are going into
Since 1986. That's prior to the leave, or that's after the Leave It to Beaver era, and all the black and whites in the Dennis the Menace era. So that would have been 50s and 60s where that would have been the thing. I think they started putting mama in the house after the 70s, right? Is that where the strong independent woman phase started coming into play? AKA
uh
get your ass to work too.
so let's look here. So it started to go down. Husband only had a slight uptick in 2010, then it went back down, and then
Why
actually
in
gained.
2010 though? 2010, 2011 was
That was another job situation that was tough.
exactly.
Yeah. The biggest drop though was in 2000s, which would have been Y2K,
Y2K. I don't see a dip around
9/11,
the '08 side, but
9/11, all that's right here. '08 would be like right-ish here, so this not a
yeah.
dip. But then, like I said, there was like a job loss situation in around 2010 that was rough, especially for recent grads. And then it looks like it went up, and then pandemic, right? 2020 pandemic. So you had, people being home, which makes sense because it's not like why not have your wife at home, right? And then
Well, that's
it,
because the kids wasn't going to school.
yeah, the
Somebody
kids
had to
weren't
be
going to
home.
school. But as you see now, it's gonna probably start dipping and trending downward, and neither
No,
spouse is going up with the
it's
trend,
around there. Husband is getting hit by neither spouse
which
is
is crazy.
in the workforce. But that's going to be the rise of that mixed with SSI checks, mixed with I just can't get a job.
Yeah, I mean, no one talks about underemployment, but yeah, that's definitely going to rise for 2020. I would say 2025 and 2026. We should see this go on up. I'm assuming when you get to 2026, it's probably going to be somewhere around here. It's going to steadily go on up. But let's go ahead and continue.
And is the single breadwinner have been steadily declining since 1986. In 2024, nearly half of households had both spouses working outside of the home, and that number rose to 2/3 among families with children. Today's financial conversations often focus on the cost of housing, childcare, or education, but history shows this shift to a dual income as the norm isn't simply due to rising prices.
If you have the largest employing sectors in the economy not offering reliable, dependable, high wage, consistent employment, then no family is going to be able to make it on one and probably even two incomes.
For the last 50 years, we've seen this decoupling between wages and productivity, and workers have not seen those returns.
In the 1980s, temp jobs started to move
That's true.
to every sector of the economy. Firms began to outsource jobs to
Oh
staffing.
yeah, that's true.
But not everyone
Nobody talks about temp jobs these days, but they still exist. Them temp jobs still exist. I think
Of course they
if I
exist.
remember correctly,
They're,
like
they're called
Joe,
contracting. That's that's a temp job.
that's
Temp to
true.
hire is contracting.
That's true. They just don't call them like go to a temp. I remember back in the day,
Oh, you talking about
people would say,
manpower and
yeah,
work?
people would
Yeah.
say, go get a temp job. And the guy would go and take his resume and go to the temp company and be like, oh, I need a temp job. I remember those days. Drop some drip in the comments if y'all remember those days. Boy,
It's called Home Depot.
wow.
agrees the story is that straightforward.
Any story about people having to send a second worker into the workforce to stay afloat, that's too pessimistic a story to tell, because that would be more plausible to me if men's pay, for instance, had stagnated or declined.
So why do Americans struggle to support a family on a single income?
If you don't understand the rules of power, you are certainly.
Why do y'all think? Do y'all think that, the struggle is because of the skills? Do you think it's because there's too many women in the job market taking away from the amount of jobs? Which women have been in the workforce for a decent amount of time now. Like, it's not like it's been a short period. I mean, it's a short period, I guess, compared to men, but women have been able to get way better jobs than they used to. I believe like way back in the day, they would only be allowed to be a nurse, like a couple jobs, teacher, nurse, a couple other things. And now, women can be a firefighter if they want to.
Yeah. I don't want a firefighter helping me out, but it's all good. But I mean, it was more than that. Teacher, nurse, stenographer, government was a very high occupation, in different forms, whether you worked in audit, tax, administrative forms within many of the armed forces, as contractors or civilian workers, dispatch if you worked in at the police academy back in the day. A lot of that was dispatch. Worked at companies like the Bells of the world, turned into AT&T, people answering the phones,
But still, I mean,
all of that.
yes, but it still wasn't anything they wanted versus now it's anything that you want. So still very, very different. All right, so I'm going to continue this and then we'll go to our next topic.
From the 1950s to the 1970s, a single income could support a middle class lifestyle, but only for certain workers.
The Fair Labor Standards Act was written in 1938, where the model form of employment was working in a factory for a manufacturing company that employed 50,000 workers on a long-term basis. So much of our work experience in the US doesn't look like that anymore.
No, it
There
does
was a
not.
time when the working class and the middle class always supplemented the earnings of one worker.
Mhm.
However, what was different about American employment from the 1940s through the 1970s is that the job became more standard. You worked a 40-hour work week. You had a weekend. You had paid vacations. And I think we have to look at what made that possible, because it comes from two forms of leverage. One, that came from workers having more power through unions, but it also worked in combination with social and economic policy.
These protections lifted the bottom of the labor market, but they weren't applied universally. Many women and workers of color were excluded from those protections.
With the 1960s, women and African Americans were certainly working before. They were in the labor market, but they were in the marginal labor markets, the ones with the insecure employment.
Exactly what we were talking about.
What really opens up.
So I'll drop the rest of this so y'all can go and watch if you're interested, because we need to keep it moving. And while families are struggling, tech is thriving. Yeah, I said it. Tech is thriving. Which brings us to the person of the year. And spoiler alert, it's not teachers or nurses. So drop some jump in the comment. Who do y'all think the person of the year is? I'm curious. Who you think?
Is it Shador Sanders?
You're funny. You are funny. It is. Oh, that one did not come up. I gotta go and grab it. I know it's gone. I don't know why it didn't show up. It is not. It is the architects of AI. Y'all agree with that? Y'all disagree with that? Some people were very upset about it, needless to say.
Well, I mean, it's what some people would fault for being the engineers of job loss in some cases. Also, that as good as it is, it leaves a lot to be desired as well. As far as the amount of faith that people have been putting into it, as far as understanding whether or not it is the only source of truth that people should be trusting. That's a very weird space for me to be in meetings with people. And
did you run it through the AI?
Right.
Tommy wrote that, right?
Well, not only
right
that, but it took an amalgamation of that and then put in some other stuff that was wrong. So it might sound intelligent because it strings words together in a coherent fashion, but that doesn't make the content any more true. That's so that's where I get concerned. Validity.
Well, let's get to it.
All right.
The architects of AI are its person of the year. Time says in its announcement that 2025 was the year when artificial intelligence, quote, full potential roared into view. The list includes the CEO of tech company NVIDIA, OpenAI CEO Elon Musk.
Anybody see anything weird with that? Y'all see that?
Some with a bunch of people giving themselves
No,
trophies.
look what she said.
Oh, open AI. Yeah. No.
Why they anchorman her like that? So
Maybe it's a
anyway,
Freudian slip where he's gonna try to buy a company.
they anchorman this lady.
OpenAI CEO Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. As Time magazine announced, the architect.
Why
What
anchorman
Mark
that lady?
Zuckerberg got to do with this?
They consider him an architect of AI.
Oh, okay.
And I gotta go
Well,
find
they
me.
gotta ask him how the metaverse is doing. That's what they need to ask him. How many people is in there right now?
No, that's
How many
sad.
girlfriends you got?
5.
How many people in the metaverse?
2.
5.
2. So
How many
let's talk about-
torsos they got?
Drop some drip in
By
the
floating
comments.
around looking like ghosts. All
Let me
right.
know. Do y'all agree with this? To me, I always thought that it was always one person, but maybe historically it's been multiple people. They haven't, not that they haven't done anything, but I don't think that it's to a point where they're to get that yet, because we haven't seen the full-on negative impact of AI yet. I think if they would have waited till 2026, maybe, because we haven't seen what's about to happen. Because there's about to be some stuff in 2026 with this AI stuff. That's my thing on that. You got anything, Cash Pay, before I go to the next one?
I mean, I've been sprinkling in between and all of that, but for me, it's a little bit too early in the
I agree.
in the space. I mean, there's a lot of open queries to continuously add data centers. I don't know if you need that many, just like I don't know if you need that much downtown live, work, play space where people have been turning, old buildings into new apartments. And
Are you
all
talking
of
about
those going
gentrification?
empty.
You're not a
Yeah,
fan of
I mean,
gentrification?
it's not that. It's just understanding whether it is waste and whether it's an actual market for these things. So that's where my concern gets to be: is it wasteful or is it not wasteful? Are we spinning our wheels, or what are we doing? Are we jogging in place or not? And it seems that we are, because we want to pat ourselves on the back and pay ourselves, kind of like how people use bots to get their own spins. It does not change the fact that you can't make fetch happen in some of these cases. That's it. You're trying to make fetch happen with certain aspects of AI, and it's not going to work. That's all.
The AI said, you don't know who you talking to, Cassius Pay. Sending you email right now. Our Daily Drip Show. How dare you? All right. So how to put these shades back on? Because while AI advances, democracy hits some speed bumps. So let's go ahead and switch back over and talk about these voting maps. Yep. Because Indiana has entered the chat with the redistricting rejection. Now y'all know. Y'all know Donnie wasn't happy. Y'all know Donnie was not happy. He was on them. I don't like that. Donnie was not happy. And rightfully so, because Indiana typically has been a red state. So it's kind of wild for them to go ahead and be like, nah, we're not gonna do that. So let's go ahead. Let's hear what President Trump got to say about that. Because I think, to add more context, this was supposed to be an auto win. Auto. This should not have been a, well, maybe we won't get to.
Well,
No.
when
This
you
was
think of
supposed to
Indiana,
happen.
you think of all the things that are corn and backyard. You don't think of any with Gary. Is that it? Is that it?
Yeah.
Valparaiso? French Lick? Is that
I
what
mean,
we
that'd be a
talking about?
great place to build a data center, to be honest with you. But
Probably.
probably now they're gonna take that idea.
Go ahead.
Indiana, just a few moments ago, the Senate there rejected the congressional maps to redistrict in that state. A number of Republicans voted against that redistricting effort. You have spent a lot of time talking about this. The vice president traveled to Indiana. What's your reaction?
Well, we won every other state. That's the only state. It's funny because I won Indiana all 3 times by a landslide. And I wasn't working on it very hard. Would have been
Ooh.
nice. I think we would have picked up 2 seats if we did that.
Did y'all hear that? He said, I had that state. I didn't even have to pull up. They know
On
me.
lock.
They
Yeah.
know me. I
Bruh.
didn't even need to do nothing. I didn't think I need to go here and address this.
It's like
He
every
said,
time I come through, they be like, "What happened, baby?"
let's see what he got to say now that he not happy about that.
That you had one gentleman, the head of the Senate, I guess, Bray, whatever his name is. I heard he was against it. He'll probably lose his next primary, whatever that is. I hope he does, but because he's done a tremendous disservice.
Indiana, just a few moments ago.
He said he gonna lose his spot. That's what he
You were
said.
about to lose your job.
For nothing. That's what he said. But the real question here is, this is a signal, just like we started this off. Remember, we talked about Miami. When we started this off, this journey began with us talking about Miami, how Miami it's been 30 years. Flip. What this signals is there's a level of voter trust that's kind of lingering. It's not just the Republicans, the Democrats too. I think in this election, the Democratic voter base showed them a little something about it. Trust. Stop playing with them. Stop playing with them. They will not vote. They will not vote blue. They will not stop playing with them. Come to the table with some stuff they want to hear. The election showed that. You had a lot of people who were left, and middle that said, can't do it. Went on ahead and voted red. Now, what this to me signals is, it, like he said, this is Kobe. He shouldn't have had to. I shouldn't have to go over here and sell nothing. Y'all rock with me. Y'all my people. What that tells me is that trust.
Yeah,
I think
it
what's
seems
going
that
on is
people
flipping right
want
around.
tangibles for their vote. So if I'm going to vote for you, it's no longer a gang.
What are you
I'm
gonna do
not
for me?
faux life. I'm not faux life.
What have you done for
I'm
me
for now.
lately?
And the moment, and it is you treat it like they treat you at the job, right? The moment that I decide that I ain't shit,
Then you ain't.
that
was Juice, wasn't it?
Yeah, Juice.
That's
Yeah,
Pac. That was
that's
Pac on
Pac.
Juice.
In the
He
moment
said,
I decide,
unalive.
Yeah.
that's what he said. But they don't matter to him. But for people, it's signaling. To me, it's signaling a red flag. I think in the election, in the presidential election, I think that flag was raised, but it was already too late. Like, because everything happened so quickly. I think that flag, it was over. But it ain't stopped. I think the voters on that side still feel that way. I think they're still over here like, I don't know about your trust. And it looks like from this, the Republicans got to keep their eye on the prize with that too, because it's looking like people don't know what's going on with that, because remember, it was America first. So that raises a bigger question. Who is America really for? Is it the voters? Well, let's go ahead and talk about fans. We'll lighten it up a bit. We're going to talk about a fans first model that very well could be similar to like a America first model. Just humor me. Got my shades on, you know what I'm saying? Humor me. Just take the lens and apply this like this. Imagine that the video I show you, that this guy with this whole yellow outfit on.
Oh, okay. That's
is
my dude right there, boy.
is
Bananas and pajamas.
so imagine he is a political party that wants you to vote for them. And imagine the fans are Americans. And imagine the approach taken is similar, although it's not gonna be the one-to-one. Just we'll talk about it afterwards. All right, let's roll. Let's get to it.
It's like, I can't wait to come to the stadium to see what billboards they have in the outfield. Can't wait to come to the stadium. There's not a fan that's like, I can't wait to come to the stadium to see what billboards they have in the outfield. That's just not something they're excited about. I don't believe anybody shows up at a ballpark and says, I can't wait to be sold to, marketed to, or advertised to. So
Okay. Before he gets into that, keep that in mind. He said, I don't believe there's a fan who wants to be sold to, marketed to, or advertised to. Okay, so keep that in mind. Fans, Americans, the selling is these promises that seem like they're for the people, but is it really for the people? Or is it for the people who lobby or the lobbying benefits or the companies, the corporations? On either side of the house, okay? Don't get it twisted. It ain't just a Republican issue or a Democratic issue. This is a political thing. So keep that in mind. Politics in general.
2020, we actually eliminated all the ads at our stadium. And we built a business that didn't rely on sponsorship at all. And we also had a business that didn't rely on broadcast at all. So our business was healthy and successful solely by selling out games, creating a great product that fans wanted to come to and buy merchandise. As we've grown and we've stayed true to that, we've realized that we want to bring our game to more fans. So we went on YouTube. Now, again, no money in it. There's zero money in YouTube. Very minimal, to say the least. But we're like, give the game for free for our fans. So we did that. And as we continue to do that, and the exposure and the growth and the interest, yes, there has been, the ESPNs and TNTs and CWs and Rokus and more that are reaching out. But they wanted to do a traditional TV deal where it's exclusive. And we said, unfortunately, no, because we want to continue to give games for free for our fans. This past year, they were able to make the exception. So we have non-exclusive deals. So broadcast has become a very small piece, less than 1% of our business. But you look at tickets and merchandise, it's 90, 95% of our entire business model. Wow. The origin of everything is what's fans first. We had partnerships when we first started, but we realized that the traditional sponsorship didn't actually add to the fan experience. There's not a fan that's like, I can't wait to come to the stadium.
So let's imagine what he said, right? Cassius Page, stop me if you have something you want to add in here. Imagine if Americans are the fans, right? And the marketing, the ads, and all that are the lobbyists that go down to Capitol Hill. And the merchandise and the money they get for direct-to-consumer payment was your tax dollars and other ways that are just collected holistically, not from outside entities. Like whether it's we'll even say tariffs, right? Like let's say it's not from internal people lobbying for something in return from the government, whether it be contracts or whatever it may be, like a you rub my back, I rub yours type of thing. Do you think that could apply to an America First model? You remove the ads or the lobbying, so the direct ability to influence political change and laws, you remove that.
Well, you talking about representative democracy? Is that what you're talking about?
All I'm saying is that this might not be a bad model to use, because you can get the money, you can get buy-in, you can get production. But do you gotta get it from lobbyists is the question. All money ain't good money. And that to me is what this model is telling me right here. That's all I'm saying. It could maybe
it's putting a strain on the belief system. So the rebrand of America First is like fans first, and pointing to like the bananas organic rise is proof that listening to ordinary people, eliminating friction, and over delivering on the experience can beat traditional elites and institutions. So that's what you're talking about. So if we use the bananas as a case study, it talks about local, right? Think local, think values-driven ventures, and the growth and it turns into a national phenomenon like it has. That's why I say, oh yeah, I remember it, because they they on TikTok, they got all kinds of the dance moves and stuff before somebody throw. It's something that's entertaining and that's there for the family. So, without the legacy backing and framing it as an example of just a grassroots type of entrepreneurship, community pride, small business style, you turn that into patriotism, I think you might have a recipe for something that will drive people to believe in the American values once again. Now, to highlight the way that Banana baseball team combats like loneliness and builds inclusive communities as a model, and it heals that national division. So that whole thing where they I think they did even the pony, like the pony dance, doing all of that. So you're bringing in a lot of people from a lot of different spaces, but to bring it back to that, you're arguing that the policy should prioritize joy, connection, in a space where everyone wins. Kind of reminds me of somebody talking about hope and change, and now everybody got rallied behind, and then it made its way into like partisan culture instead. And that's just what happens in democracies, right? Is that you have an opposition party, and when that opposition party gets big enough or loud enough or powerful enough, it stops the progression from happening. Now, some people might view it as progression to get some of the things that we talked about, like Social Security. That was a progressive move back in the day. Unions were a progressive move back in the day. But there's something also to be said for traditional values as well. Prioritizing family, prioritizing country, and people, want to say, yeah, the United States is going down and all that. You celebrating a burning house. Where you moving to? Where you going? Where they want you at? How about you make it good where you are? How about you be one of the people to stop the house from burning? Take it upon yourself. What can you do? Who can you talk to? Who can you listen to build that community, to build that trust, no matter if you black, white, or otherwise? The leaders start from within.
Yeah, all I'm getting at, I ain't want to do too much. So I don't need them shut the channel down. You know what I'm saying? Because lobbyists be out here. Okay. All I'm saying is what does America First really look like? Like, regardless of who is sitting in front of us, they just showed a model. They were moved and are able to be a sustaining company without doing all that. That's all I'm saying. So that's all I got on that, because
yeah. And Boyle Peanut, he talking about how we treating our politicians these days. When they gonna be in power for 40 years, set them and forget them.
What?
You remember that? Set it and forget it.
Hold on, let me see if I can find a video, because I have no idea what you're talking about right now. I'm trying to figure.
You insert it to any infomercial. Is really, they all follow that criteria. It's like, you take it. It's basically a crock pot or whatever. Set it and forget it. But yeah,
is this it right here?
Go ahead, hit it.
Let's fuel up, Limu. Lots of people.
All right, we'll see what this is, Hidden Foe, because I don't remember this.
You don't remember that? You probably don't.
I don't know.
A 6-pound chicken, a pork loin roast, 3 great tasting salmon steaks, a tender leg of lamb.
This is before
chicken kebab.
Bro, look at this meat though. Hold on, let's take a second. Hold on, we ain't gonna just shimmy by that. Look at this meat.
A 6-pound.
Turkey don't even look like that no more.
That's chicken. That's not
pork
turkey.
loin.
I'm sorry, it's chicken. I'm sorry, chicken don't even look like that anymore. Sorry, I've been drinking. Look at this. Oh, he didn't season and everything. Okay.
roast, 3 great tasting salmon.
Are you getting hungry or something? What's
No, I'm trying to figure out. Like, I'm comparing the food, like, because we've talked a lot about like maha, for example, and this is what was this? What was Set It and Forget It? Drop some drip if y'all. Somebody said they still got theirs on the counter in the kitchen. All right, go off then.
Salmon steaks, a tender leg of lamb, 8 beef and chicken kebabs, and everybody's favorite, baby back ribs.
Baby
It's
back
all
ribs,
done
that's
with
crazy.
Showtime. It can do a 10-pound turkey.
Look at that advertising. And look, this is where I think Boiled Peanut Gallery is talking about 30-day risk-free trial, only $19.95.
Right, you buy that today, it won't even last you 30 days.
It's only $19.95.
Said, buy it and forget it and throw it away because
Yo,
it's not gonna work.
$19.95 back then is gotta be what the equivalent of probably
Oh
what,
shit,
$50
everything was
now?
$19.95 at one point, right?
It probably be $49.99 now if you had to
But
actually like compare.
no, it would be probably $199.95. That's
You know
probably
what?
how much it'd
You
be.
know what? You
As
right.
much as one of those ninjas costs or whatever. But yeah, that was before the Foreman grill took over.
Man,
And
listen, I had
everybody
one of
was
those in my dorm room, y'all. I was in there cooking. In there cooking. Couldn't tell me nothing. I was in there cooking. Cooking, baby, cooking. All right, so let's go into actions have aftermath. So let's talk about what happens when choices go wrong. Who pays when things go left? Drop some drip in the comments. I want to know if y'all think, because we've talked a lot about society changing. We just showed a video. What was that? The 90s? Was it the 90s? That Set It and Forget It? It was what, the 90s? Early 90s, probably something like that. Let me know if y'all think this would get by on this. Okay. Y'all ready? This about to be a doozy.
That I will have to inform some individuals that their lives might be irreparably damaged from what I do, whether that be today or tomorrow. After making 2 small posts about District 7 in Tennessee, many people felt that this was their opportunity to come under my comment section and leave hateful, absolutely disturbing comments. And I think it is evident that y'all have never met an individual like myself.
A few moments later.
I think this is the right building. I think this is his car.
Okay, so before this goes any further, I just want to make sure everybody's on the same level playing field before this happens. This lady had made a comment about Tennessee, something in Tennessee that happened, and somebody had wrote back to her a very rude, disrespectful comment back to her that she did not attack them. They came out of nowhere and just was a keyboard warrior and decided they was going to do what they were going to do. And so she said that they have never met an individual like herself.
All right, let's see how this goes. Hello, I'm looking for a mic. Does a mic work here?
Yeah.
Can I speak to him?
Sure. What's this about?
Are you Mike?
Yeah.
Can I step aside? It's cold. Sure. Thank you. How you doing? Nice. So, a couple days ago, you left a comment under somebody's comment.
Hot damn. That's crazy.
It was regarding Tennessee, District 7.
Drop some drip in the comments. Y'all ever seen nothing like this
Want to
before?
pull up on somebody on it.
She says she drove 3 hours.
She is about that life for 3 hours. You know
This is
what?
the comment. It said her and 50 Cent must be cousins. All right, so okay, let's get to
keep going.
Yeah, well, John, you don't know me, I don't know you, but I was that person that you commented under. Yeah, it's crazy, right? Crazy world. But I just wanted you to know, you see how easy I found you? It's not cool, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna give you the opportunity and apologize, or I'm gonna show your wife the ground that account I found. How do you?
So she came with blackmail receipts. Y'all ain't catch that. She said, not only did I find you, because you talked underneath my comment. But you're gonna say you sorry, or I'm gonna show your wife your Grinder account, which is usually LGBTQ plus dating.
Yikes.
Yeah, a profile. So
Ooh-wee.
that's where she's going with that.
Ooh-wee.
Feel about that. Right.
Whoa. Hold on. She said, how do you feel about that? He said, not good. Meaning that he confirms
Not-
that he had a Grinder account. Had he just said, like, well, girl, go ahead, because I don't have a Grinder account, this would be different. But homie has a Grinder account. So here we go.
Crazy world out here. So I did make this apology. You don't have to. I understand it's hard, but all you have to do is read this nice little apology I wrote. Thank you. Go ahead.
Mike, do apologize for my actions. And I see the consequences of my actions. And I will not do
Say it louder.
I will not do this to anyone else that ever has.
Oh, good job, Mike. Thank you. I'll take that back from you. Yeah, I need that for other people. It was really nice meeting you.
You know what's diabolical about that?
With a heavy heart that I will have.
Is that that she's already outed technically the person. The name is under the under the comments, probably still. Maybe they're taking them down. But the other part is that she already outed the fact that he has a Grindr account and his name is Mike, and this is going viral. So shout out to all the Mikes and the Grindr accounts, I guess. Enjoy. Diabolical. You supposed to be talking because you on mute.
Nah, I was just over here grieving for a second. I agree with you. So thank you. So boiled peanut gallery, you go over what I was going with. So actions have aftermath. There's two things. Number one, his actions had aftermath. You thought you was gonna be a keyboard terrorist. You saw her and said, "Oh, she look like that. She ain't finna find me." Skirt. She pulled up on you. Now you're sitting here looking crazy. On the flip side, how dangerous is that though?
Very.
And historically, who you know would have the nuts to do something like that? This goes back to that pronouns thing, because prior to, I would even say maybe several years ago, when no lady do nothing like that.
That's very true. I would have not thought
Absolutely.
that it would be.
It would be incredibly abnormal. Now we over here like, who she did that? Because it's not super duper abnormal. It's abnormal that like you had the actual goal to do it, but we're not so surprised that someone actually did it.
Usually people call, or they out them while they on it. You see plenty of YouTubes where that they'll be like, oh, Starberry 416, this you? Oh, this you right here? This your house? All doing all that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Drop some dip in the comments.
That
What
lady
would
could have
y'all
got
do?
hurt, or he could have got hurt. Like there's a lot that goes into this where that's not a comfortable situation.
Drop some drip in the comments. Y'all think that was warranted? Do y'all think that was doing too much? Do y'all think that this is due to societal shifts to have this come up? Let us know.
Well, we're in our FAFO era right now. I'm gonna put that out there.
Yeah,
But
you did that.
yeah, but at the same time, this is a very teachable moment. We should all learn from this
Don't be a
to
keyboard
understand that there are people on meds out here, and there
Or
are people
not.
with dreads out here.
We're not on
So,
that and should be
yeah.
on that. They're the ones you need to
Very
worry
true.
about.
Very true. And this is an opportunity to
Or they're
have people
twitching.
think about what they say before they say it. Some things that are said in jest, and we do comedic stuff on this channel and all that stuff, try to mix candy with the medicine. But at the same time, just know that you could be hurting people with some of your comments that are unwarranted. You got a whole bunch of keyboard terrorists out here just,
And there's a way to go
and they
about
be
it. You don't be
grown too. That'd be my
disrespectful.
thing. It's like you a grown ass man or woman out here, just trying to get your
Disrespectful.
your biggest hater award going, and doing all of that.
Yep. There's a way. Granted, we give comedic thoughts on this and jokes, but we're still not disrespectful. There's definitely a line of disrespect, and we don't cross. We try not to cross that disrespect. Okay, we're not perfect, but we try not to cross the disrespect line. But whatever he said about Tennessee, baby, she said, I
And
got you.
she had to do a 6-hour bid. She drove there and back. She probably had to pull over, get a couple pee breaks.
That's how she left. That's how she left. When she left,
right, she felt good. She was like, I got $1 million hit content off of this.
That's
made homeboy read off of she could have did better with the script too. If she got in front of him like that, she could have made him say anything.
Homie
She caught him at the job.
Homie the clown.
She could have made him do a spin.
I would have
push ups.
Homie the clown.
He would have did almost anything not to have his Grindr account docs.
His wife know now. His wife know now.
Of course she do. Like whose voice is that? Mine.
This is where he gonna be now.
Yeah, it's like so I gave up half of the motorhome.
Wife talking to her new man.
I gave up all the encyclopedias and half the cats. I gave her Snickers the cat, even though he was my cat for 17 years, and now she has the cat.
Well, this brings us to today's drip. It's a reminder, because that's the drip. A reminder before we log off, and something to wear mentally. So I wanted to share this with y'all. It ain't all bad, but that was just crazy. I had to share that with y'all because that's absolutely absurd. All right. Oh, let me take this off mute. Probably need to do that.
I understand other people made billions in their 20s and 30s. Talent, circumstance, serendipity, that has nothing to do with your life. And more importantly, nobody's success in life is taken from yours. Not one person. This isn't actual sports where there's a winner and loser. This is life. Everyone can lose, everyone can win. And so I'm just trying to get people's fucking feelings right.
Well, first of all, I love Gary, but man, does he have a potty mouth. But he is absolutely right.
So drop some drip in the comment before we go into what Robert has to say. He is one of the sharks from Shark Tank, in case you don't know, or you recognize his face and you're like, I'm not quite sure where I know that guy from. He's in Shark Tank. So there's been a lot of talk. We talk about this too: accountability, the ability to shape your narrative. We just talked about the pips and about the layoffs and so forth. So this is where we're aligning that with. Cash Pay, do you have anything you want to add before I hit play?
I can do it now, or I can talk. I'll let them talk, but
okay.
I got my own individual
sure
information. I'm a slap on this one.
Sure. Okay. All right. We'll play this the rest of the clip.
And you know what? Nobody cares and compares you to LeBron. You learn this as you get older. Don't compare yourself to somebody who had different circumstances, different things. Success is not finite. If I make $1 billion, it doesn't mean you can't make $1 billion. And guess what? If I did it at 60 and you do it at 20, good for you. Nobody cares. Don't be envious of other people. Just be better.
All right. So that's the drip. Something to wear, like I said, something to wear mentally. Just run your own lane. Success timelines are fake. Comparison is optional. Keep that in mind, y'all. Go ahead, Cash. Say.
Okay, I believe partially in what. Let me get my voice close to this mic for this one, because I need people to really hear what I'm about to tell you. You are guaranteed to have opportunity. You are not guaranteed to win. You almost guaranteed to fail. But you do have the opportunity to learn from those around you, learn from your own mistakes, because the envious part, that's only blocking you. But you are not guaranteed to win. There might be, everybody can make $1 billion, but guess what? If everybody made $1 billion, then you have to have a triple dog trillionaire out there that would be rich instead. So there is a finite to it. There's only so much money to go around. And if money became something else, then people would make shells. And if shells was something else, then people would turn to gold. And if gold was something else, then people turn to dollars. There are things that people would find more value in because other people would just, it would be too much of it. That's the whole point of supply and demand. Right now, it's dollars. Turn it into crypto if you get nasty with it. Until people realize that that's not it. Maybe we go back to seashells. Who knows? But whoever has the most seashells wins. Back in the day, it used to be whoever was the biggest. These are the things that come along
Actually,
with evolution.
it used to be, how many families you put together and how much property, which included your daughter, your lineage.
How much cattle you got?
It used to be how many children you had. All those,
That's also
those
true.
used to be, different things that were of value back in the day.
Right. So, I mean, if now, people are putting value on, people who are 6'5" that can put balls in hoops or kick through posts, then fine. That's one thing that is one aspect of it, but that's nothing to be jealous about. Not at all. There's a million ways to make money. Talk about the very few ways that everybody has to have as far as discipline in order to keep and save your money. Because you can still be a millionaire even if you're a janitor over a 30-year period.
Yeah, I think we had a story about this guy who saved like all his money. And then when he passed away, he had like all his money. He was like a janitor or something like that. But he bought the same thing over and over every day. It used to be tulips were the big currency.
This is no joke. He's for real. Yeah, tulips was currency. Yep. Tulips were currency at one point. So it just lets you know. And then somebody else is going to be like, what? Tulips? Yeah. But that just lets you know how humans have worked. And at some point, somebody's going to be like, you guys were transferring paper back and forth, ones and zeros. The only thing that has essentially stood the test of time have been precious metals. And that's over, thousands of years at this point. Gold, silver, palladium, platinum, all those things. And they're still being used today, whether it's in utilities or solar panels, semiconductors, motherboards. All of those things use those things. So, yeah, I wouldn't want you to value those things either if I needed to make batteries or whatever. So yeah, keep going. Buy precious metals, people. Prices up.
All right, y'all. This has been a pretty long episode, but this is my last piece is that America doesn't need more opinions. It needs patience, accountability, and some of y'all need a nap for real. Like some of us need to take some rest.
And Jim Jones, you ain't gonna pay me for this in tulips. I'm just gonna let you know that right now. I need my money. I don't need tulips. I need my money.
That's how I'm gonna pay you. It's how this lady about to boom, you pay.
It winks.
It's the 80s currency. All right, y'all. So that has been our daily drip show. I very much appreciate y'all rocking with us. Yeah. Oh, you love naps? Look at that. See, take you a nap. Will Peanut Gallery. Take you a nap. Take a nap for me. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. We're gonna be here next Friday. Possibly we'll play Dame too. We'll see what's going on with that. But very much appreciate y'all being here with us. If you have not hit that like button, make sure you do that. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do that. Hit that notification bell so you know when we're coming through with a new show. We got shorts, we got videos, we got live streams, we got all those things for y'all. Also, check us out on our platforms, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, X, and of course, good old YouTube. We drop every day. Every day. All right, y'all. I am your solo host, Jim Jones, in here with the nice, soothing sounds, new sounds for y'all to go ahead and vibe out to. And along with me is Cassius Pay. Appreciate that he's taking these winks for payment. Cash is winky pay. All right, y'all. We out. Bye. Bye.
We fall into the stream, caught between the code and the dream. Subscribe to me, don't let it fade. Our love's a tech upgrade. Your voice is a waveform, smooth, divine. Graduate whisper sync with mine. Our rhythm sharp, our timing fine. Click here, stay near. Don't ghost me, disappear. Let's rewrite this atmosphere. We fall into the stream, caught between the code and the dream. Subscribe to me, don't let it fade. Our love's a tech